Oh, we gotta do the intro. Ready? We gotta do the intro.
Oh,
You ready? Alright. Yeah, Gavin and
Mika and Gavin.
Yeah, Mika and Gavin.
Gavin. Hey
Right,
guys,
welcome to the first episode of the
Hermit Craft
the Mika and
podcast.
podcast.
Yep,
So we got Joe on.
it's John.
Oh yeah, we got John, and we're gonna be doing some. Oh, say hi, John.
Hi guys, I'm currently playing Minecraft.
Can you introduce yourself for people who are listening to the audio version of the podcast?
Introduce myself.
Yeah. Tell us about yourself.
I'm Joe. I like
No,
films.
not.
Sorry, I'm John Mulmun. I like films.
There you go.
I'm playing
Alright guys,
Minecraft.
it's time for rapid fire questions. You ready?
I'm
So,
playing.
this is the first segment of the podcast. Dude, shut up! I'm trying to talk. And we're gonna be doing some wacky questions with hopefully some wacky answers.
Yeah.
So you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
How many pets?
How many pets?
Yeah.
Dude, at more than one.
What breed?
What?
At least two.
Are they rare?
Yeah.
All right. That concludes the rapid fire question segment of the pod.
Wait, just a minute.
Okay. Oh, sorry about this. We'll probably cut this out.
Sorry about that. Won't be in an
Ugh.
Okay. Yep.
Is this the segment where we eat for 10 minutes?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it is actually.
Okay,
Alright.
Let's play guess that food.
Can I start?
What am I eating?
Yeah.
Popcorn.
What
How
am
do
I
you
eating?
know, dude?
Chips.
No.
What is it?
Oh, fuck.
Time is running out, Joe.
Wait,
You're
can
missing a
I,
chance to win exclusive merch, John.
I need a second crunch.
Bonus crunch?
Yeah, I need a hit.
Alright.
again.
That reduces your merch from hoodie to socks if you ask for a second crunch.
Oh.
No. Okay, I don't need it. Okay. So, is it like a chip brand?
So you're asking for a hint?
No. Okay. Pringles.
That's incorrect, John.
Fuck.
You have two more guesses,
Two more guesses.
but here we have the sympathy crunch.
Smith chips.
Not
Okay,
last
okay.
guess. What am I eating? What's the food?
Doritos.
Nah. The correct answer was chicken chips.
Did you just
So-
eat chicken crimpy chips?
Yeah, so you missed out. I'm sorry. Can we get like a boost sound effect?
How about
Yeah, there you go. That's such a shame. You missed out on exclusive merch, but it's all
Alright.
good because
no. Here, you want to guess what I'm eating?
Yeah, go for it.
Alright, hold on.
pretty
Uh,
time.
Chips.
Oh, did you guys hear that?
Oh, did you hear that, Joe?
Did you
John.
hear
It
that?
wasn't chips.
Joe, did
Pretty
you hear that
time.
though?
Here, what?
Pretty time. Oh, dude, there it was again.
What?
Did you hear that?
No.
I think I heard that.
Tweet. Yo, dude, there's no way, boys. It's time for the Twitter time segment of the podcast.
Alright, Joe. So, on the 16th of the 2nd, 2020, you tweeted, British people wake up in a bathtub full of ice with their kidneys gone, and they be like, right, what's all this then? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I don't think that's my tweet.
No, we think it is, dude.
I think it is, mate.
We don't
Buddy.
know what embarrass you, but
It was actually a commentary on race and the duality of man at once.
Right. Explain that.
So a British man wakes up with his kidneys gone, and
Why? Why
he's
is
very
kidneys?
conflicted. He's very conflicted about that.
yeah,
So
why?
that
No, why is kidneys though?
Why
his
not his
kidneys-
heart?
Yeah.
Oh, because society's broken down his heart, so he doesn't even have one to be taken. So the
Thank you,
kidney's
that.
the next best thing.
Can you describe society for people who are listening to the audio version of the podcast who might
Yeah.
not know what it is?
Subscribe it.
Bro, you just got me off the street. I don't even know.
Bro, shut
Okay.
up.
Second tweet. We have you saying, "Don't have a bookmark. Try using Oreo cookies and milk instead."
What? What is the reasoning behind that, Joe?
Yeah.
John.
Honestly, it was just a good recommendation.
Yeah.
See, I tried that myself. I didn't actually find it helpful. It didn't really work as a bookmark.
Yeah, it made
Oh,
my
well,
it made all
doesn't
my
work for-
pages stick together.
It doesn't work for dumbasses.
Damn.
It doesn't work for people who don't.
Alright,
give other
guys, that's
people
been
their
the. Not kidding.
So am I getting merch?
Rap battle, rap.
Guys, when am I getting paid?
Wait, did you hear that, John?
Did you hear that? Did you hear that, Joe?
Rap battle?
Rap battle?
Who am I rap battling?
Alright.
Did you hear that, bro?
Drop a beat, dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
you better be rap battling me.
Now you're gonna drop a beat, John.
This is for exclusive merch, by the way.
Do you mean like legit drop a beat, or you mean drop some lyrics?
Dude,
There's a
if
big
you can drop a
difference.
beat better than
Lyrics.
Kanye West, then there you go. There's a t-shirt. Buy it.
Went to the store to buy
No,
some.
no, you gotta drop it. You gotta drop a beat. Now rap.
Now rap.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah.
Went to the store to buy some ham. Stuck my fingers in a jar of jam. Yeah,
You go.
word.
Very nice.
I was gonna sing something else, but it was a bit more explicit.
Oh, okay. So is that coming on the premium John Mulmun Spotify?
Yeah, quick moment to shout out to my sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. It's actually a really fun game. It's one of the best games on the mobile app store.
Yeah.
Is it available on Android?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh
they,
my
they kinda didn't
gosh.
tell me anything. They just kind of paid me and left.
Sure. All right. Wait. Hold on. That actually reminds us. Mick, let's say our sponsors. Yeah.
Yep. So the first one is B Fuel. It's fuel for your car, but you can drink it.
That doesn't sound very
second,
healthy.
Second one is Britain.
The whole, all of Britain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds a bit. That sounds a bit unbelievable. I don't.
What are you on about, bro?
Yeah, bro.
Dude, there's no way you got sponsored by Britain.
No, we did. We did.
I
Dude,
did.
they wouldn't
So,
even sponsor me.
What's your opinion of Britain?
All
I
right.
don't
So
know,
you
my opinion's a bit controversial. I don't want to get cancelled.
go for it. Go for it.
Okay.
I think their
Actually-
dental is actually pretty good.
No. I don't think so. Hang on.
Yeah,
Hang on,
I'm
John.
just-
John.
I'm just joshing you.
No, you're not. You're Johnning us.
Dude. All right.
All right. So you said you like films. What's your favorite one?
Yeah. Let's get into a more serious part
Okay,
of the podcast. Also, the
I
whole.
don't actually have a favorite film.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite people who make films?
Yeah, I'm actually really into Spike Jones. He made a lot of weird films. Like, he directed some of the Jackass films, but like,
Mm.
Actually.
Yeah, but like he also directed Where the Wild Things Are and Her, and they're both like I would highly recommend these films.
Yeah.
I know, I feel like they got talked about for a while when they came out, and people were like, oh wow, these are so good, but like,
What's your like favorite thing about them?
first of all, the mood in them is like just, and the shots are just stunning. Like, honestly, I'm not that big on cinematography. I'm a bit of a buffet. Like,
Yeah.
I'm more into story than cinematography, but
Yeah.
like, oh my goodness, the cinematography is so like beautiful, and the stories are just like you could literally. So Her, right? It's about a man who falls in love with an AI system.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, I think I saw a clip from that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know like that's something that like no one, like I can't relate to, and probably you guys can't because like young people like us haven't exactly been in love, but like
Yeah.
it's something we can all relate to,
Yeah,
and
facts.
True. So
and
do
I
you
know
want
it's just really well done.
so do you want to like make sort of like center your so what do you like what do you consider like Spike Jones as like an inspiration for the films that you want to make like
Yeah, a
you
bit
know?
like I want to make just like really interesting concepts, but like while still having the story fleshed out.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to talk crap about Marvel. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on a quick rant about Marvel in a
Oh,
sec.
go on. Yeah.
Go on.
But
Spit some fire. Spit some fire.
but yeah, I just want to make really like profound stories that are just like so beautiful and so in depth, and like every time you watch it, you're just finding out new things. But also, I want it to be like a really great experience the first time. Like I think I was talking to Daniel about this.
Who's Daniel?
Yeah.
Oh, he's just nobody.
Yeah, right.
And we're talking on the bus, and he said something that like I like really agree with, and he was like, I want to make films that people can watch. Although I didn't agree with everything he said, he was like, I want my films to be
That's weird.
watched.
You kind of should agree with everything that Daniel says.
Anyways, he I don't know, just like you want your films to be like you can watch it once and not look into like the deeper meaning of it and still be like an amazing film, but then it's also just as amazing if you do look into the story. That's
Y-
kind of what I want.
Yeah, I get that
Yeah.
actually. That's so sick.
Anyways, back to Marvel. Here's my 2 cents. Um, just no. Here's my 5 cents. Alright, my 50 cent.
Yeah. Well, maybe say something that like you really like it, like something that you really like about what they've done. Because I think I've had conversations with you about like things that Marvel's actually good at, and like you admitted that, and then things that you'd like really just want to improve on if you were to like direct Marvel films and stuff like that.
Alright, I'll kind of go with both at the same time. Here's what I think is like the whole problem with it is there's like two sides to the argument. It's just like Marvel is amazing,
Yep.
and oh my gosh, I love Marvel. Marvel's my whole personality.
Hmm.
And then there's people who just hate Marvel. And sure, there are some people who are just like, it's okay, but like they don't really have like they can't really flesh out their opinions on it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what I think forms that problem is at the start, their films were actually pretty good, like better than average. Like the first Iron Man, directed by
Robert Downey Jr.
um, ah, I can't remember his first name. I just remember his last name's Favreau.
Yeah.
Anyways, he plays Happy in the Iron Man series, but he directed the first Iron Man,
Yeah.
and he really wanted it to be about Tony Stark more than anything.
Just like action and all that. More about the sort of character you mean.
Yeah, so like he decided he wanted to focus on Tony more than Iron Man, which I thought
Yep.
was really good. And I think that's what started Marvel off. And they were doing new, like, don't get me wrong, they were doing so many new things, and they bring so much cool stuff because some of the action scenes they have so well done,
Yeah.
so fun to watch. And
Yeah,
then like
I
the
think that's what
story,
you're saying. Like the action scenes are like what they do well. Because
yeah.
they're like really visually just good to watch and stuff like that.
I think the problem is though, like fans are just too biased towards it. Even I was for a while. You're just like so involved, and you're just like, oh, they fleshed out the story so much, but like to an extent, they're kind of ignoring all the problems because they're like, oh, sure, the story's really lacking, but that mustache, though.
Yeah, that's CGI.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like they would do that, and that's also like I think DC is starting to figure that out because all their films were crap until Wonder Woman and Shazam, and I think that's because they started focusing on the characters more than the action,
Yeah.
and that's what Marvel was doing. So now they're like gaining up, and Marvel's just kind of stuck in the formula. You know, they're just doing the same thing. It's getting kind of boring.
True.
And
Alright. What's like a prime example of like all the problems in Marvel? Like, what's your like least favorite Marvel film
um,
that you've
my
watched?
least favorite. Okay, don't get me wrong. There's worse Marvel films, but my
Yeah.
least favorite is Endgame
Ooh.
Oh, okay. All right.
because here's the
Pretty
problem with that.
controversial. Okay.
Here's what real pisses me off.
Yeah.
Infinity War was a good movie. It's not great. It was good.
Good.
No,
Yeah.
I'd go. It's pretty darn good. You know.
Yeah. So like a 70% on the moist meter.
Yeah. Like I haven't seen a villain that good. That's a lie, but in a while. But like, no, I have. But like, you know, they did a really good job on Thanos. They really fleshed him out. They did a great job.
Fat ass, dude.
His motives were like. Did you just say fat ass?
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, I agree. No, but like they did a really good job with his character and stuff, and it felt really well. Problem is, everyone raved about Endgame, and to be honest, Thanos sucked in Endgame. They did everything that was good about Infinity War. They pretty much just ripped it off. You know, like they ripped it off like the clothing on Thanos' cheeks, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Nah.
Like,
I think I get what you mean. Like how do you think they ruined it?
well,
Was it because
first
they
of all, like
killed him at the farm?
in the first one, Thanos felt like a powerful villain, and like no one was expecting him to win. You know, like we're still
Yeah.
in the thing of like, oh, the heroes are gonna win. You know, and then he won, and we're like, what? And then the next film, we just know the heroes are gonna win. So I think that played a factor. But also, Thanos did not feel like a threat. He felt like an idiot. He wasn't as smart. He wasn't as cunning. He was just like, oh, stone go boof, you know. And so that really like kind of grinded my
Yeah.
gears. But what grinded it more is the fans. You know, context is everything in the film industry these days. The fans play a big part in the film and the whole like identity of a film. And I think it's actually doing Marvel harm the amount that these fans hype it up. You know, because they're like, oh,
True.
it's so great. Oh, they did such a good job at ending the characters. But here's the thing. They're only saying that because of the bias I was talking about before, you know. They're only
Yeah.
saying it because they're attached to these characters. And sure, people can make the argument, oh my gosh, these characters are better than any characters in other films. But here's the thing, you know, it's not that they're doing a great job. The movies could be crap. It's just Robert Downey Jr. has been in like what, like 10 films or more? How
10
would you
Marvel
not get
films.
attached, you know? That's like,
Yeah.
let's just like average it out, an hour and a half per film.
Do you think it would have been good
Kind
if they just baited the entire audience and just like made like the other half of everyone die in the second film? Like Thanos snaps again.
Yeah, okay. No, but what I
Wasn't
mean is
enough.
just like people always make the argument, oh, they're like the characters are so like developed, and it's like how could you know they would have to be so incompetent to not make those characters developed after like 15 hours of watch time on Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
And sure, the actors are great. Don't get me wrong. I think the actors are great.
Yeah.
Which also leads me on to another thing. There's this like thing on Instagram where people do fan casting.
Yeah.
What is that?
Pardon?
What is that?
So it's where they like, oh, if they made a Fantastic Four movie, here's who I would cast. Or say they turned
Right.
this TV show into a movie, here's what you know, that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
Just this movie, this is who I'd cast. And you know who's like always picked? Tom Holland and like
Robert.
Chris Evans and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're great actors, but like they're literally just casting him as like this guy kind of looks like this guy is sort of like Captain America. Oh, who should I cast? The guy who plays Captain America. It's like there's no originality.
Yeah. Who would you cast as Robert Downey Jr.?
Who would I cast? as Robert Downey Jr.? Probably Iron Man. No, I'm just kidding. Probably like
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a man, can't remember his name.
Biggie Cheese.
You know the guy with white hair from You know the guy from
Jeez,
No, I'm
man.
done. Big and cheese. That's it. All right, see
Yeah,
you guys. I'm out. I'm leaving.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I
Alright.
just hate you.
Scared me there, jeez.
yeah.
Also,
oof.
another thing, artistic integrity. I'm just ranting about random shit, but and there's
Dude,
no like rhyme or reason to this. But I'm so
Yeah.
sick of films not having artistic integrity as well. Like I
Okay,
get it.
just
You're a
describe
kid.
that to people who are watching the visual version of the podcast.
I hate you so much. So like you're making a film, and this is mainly in the kids' film industry, and their
Yeah.
thinking is, oh, kids won't notice, kids don't care. Oh, it's just a kids' film. It doesn't matter if the story's kind of crap. It doesn't, you know. But like that's not. There's no artistic integrity to that
Yep.
Mm.
because as a director, as like or anything in like anything, you could be a cinematographer and or you could be a DP, which if you don't know what that is, that's a director of photography.
Right.
Or you could be the oh my gosh, there's so many acronyms. I can't think right now. It's the
That's-
AD.
What's a movie like? You said this one movie to me a while back when you're talking about artistic integrity, and
I think it was the Scooby Doo movie.
yeah,
And
maybe.
I know they were
Yeah.
just I had like so here's what I reckon their thinking was. They were like, hey, we want to make. They started off with a good idea. They're like, hey, we don't want to make the same Scooby Doo movie over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And so they're like, what are we gonna do? And here's where they fall apart. They're like,
Go on.
oh, you know, kids like superheroes. Let's put on an incompetent superheroes to be like a part of the cast, and it's so stupid. And you're just like, okay, idiots, you don't know what you're doing.
What was the incompetent superhero in that? What do you mean? Like in the Spooky Island movie?
No, that's I'm talking
What?
about like the new one, the one that like just came out. Where it's like 3D
Scoob.
animation.
Dude, how many
Dude.
of those movies are there? And
Um,
aren't they all notorious for being horrible?
nah,
Dude, all right.
I really,
Dude, I will defend Spooky Island with my life. That was great.
no, I actually really enjoyed that because it's what I think.
Yeah.
People say the story was lacking at some points, and yeah, sure, but I reckon it got its job done really well.
Yeah.
And it just kind of contradicts what I said before. It's like, oh, the kids won't care, but this isn't like that. It's like genuinely enjoyable. Like, it's not like they put detail in there. They put like a lot of jokes, and sure, some of the jokes are fart humor, but oh my gosh, what do you expect from a talking dog, my guy? No, I'm just. No,
Yeah, dude.
I reckon the stories were done well, and like they're funny. I've watched them I don't know how many times.
I just
Yeah.
liked it when Scooby said "Ruff-row." I thought it was funny. Yeah.
I know that really resonated with me.
Yeah, dude, that's chill. I didn't go. Velma didn't get an Emmy for that. It's just a shame, dude. She's pretty, yeah.
She
Pretty good.
was too thick to not get an Emmy.
Oh my god, dude. Thanos and Velma. Alright, sorry, what were you saying?
I know. I was just talking about artistic integrity, and it's bad.
Yeah, true.
I know.
So, do you have any film ideas yourself? Or anything?
Ooh, that's a good
Don't
question.
don't give your best one because there may be some cheeky people like me who's gonna copy your ideas if you say them. So just bear that in mind.
Yeah. No, I have a lot of film ideas. I think I'm still hanging on to that kind of fear of failure, which I tell people myself who want to get in the film industry. I'm like, don't be afraid of failure. Failure is just learning, and
Yeah.
the best thing you can do is just make films. Like, just try and make films,
Yeah.
learn from them, and keep making. But like,
True.
I also
Yeah.
see why it's so hard because personally, I make like 2 films a year, and they're like both like 3 minutes long, it's like pathetic.
Yeah. What do you mean by a fear of failure? Just in terms of like people giving it bad reviews or just not being watched?
I don't know, like, I guess the best example is I had this great idea in my head, and over the quarantine, I decided to make it, and I did, and like so much went wrong. And don't get me wrong, I'm so glad I made it because I learned so much.
Yeah.
But like, I can't even like watch it. Like, I physically find it difficult to watch because I like hate it so much.
What,
And
dude?
it's this beautiful idea that I came on with, but then it's just like execution so poorly.
Yeah.
And I don't know that stuff like that's scary because I think it's not a fear of making a bad film; it's a fear of ruining the idea, which is dumb
True,
because I can
yeah.
always just
Yeah.
retry and make the film again. But oh my gosh! Also, I think too much. I'm like, I work out every detail, which is like a strength and a weakness, you know.
Yeah. Do you find that it kind of like, sort of like, because when obviously like when you have an idea, like you're really sort of excited with it when it's not really fleshed out yet, and then when you kind of try to go into like the really fine details, and you kind of lose motivation. Do you have that?
Not really. I think I'm always motivated to make them. It's just I make excuses. Like, I think my biggest excuse is actors
Yeah.
Yeah.
because, like, we're in Brisbane. Sorry, doxed you.
I'm
Okay.
trying to bleep that out. Don't worry.
Okay, we're in
He
Australia.
didn't.
There we go. That's
For the
better.
people listening to the audio version, he didn't say a racial slur or anything. I promise you. We both
I
vouch for
just
that.
said the
It's all good.
location.
Yeah.
No, but I was, yeah, we're in Australia, and don't get me wrong, there's great Australian actors. We're all hot, you know. There's not a single ugly person in Australia. No, but it's
But
just so.
do you just find it hard to like organize actors, or just kind of
Yeah,
like,
I know. Like people who are actually interested in acting at our school, like they're not bad. It's just like I think they're more into theater acting,
Yeah,
and
true,
theater
true.
acting and film acting are like the complete opposites, you know.
yeah? You said you didn't like theater acting the other day. Like, what's with that? What don't you like about it?
I think it's because for a while I was like 14 and I was just like thinking, hey, this is acting, you know. And then I want to make films, and you act in film, it's the same thing, you know, which was so
Yeah.
stupid because it's very exaggerated in theater, and it's like its film is so much more nuanced in its acting.
Yeah. Do you find it like it obnoxious, just kind of exaggerating things?
Yeah, like and that's not even like a critique of the actual like theater.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, theater acting is absolutely magical, but I'm just stuck in this mindset of everything I do, like every day, is serving film. Like pretty much, I'm killing chickens right now in Minecraft Hardcore, and I'm thinking of how this could be a shot in a film. I'm not kidding. Every, everything is a movie to me, right?
Yeah.
So like, I gotta, I like always try and apply it to film. I think the reason I don't like theater acting is because I try and apply it to film, and it just doesn't apply to my ideas that I want.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is crap, you know.
Mm.
But it's not, and so I feel a bit guilty about that. But like, it's also like, I don't care.
Yeah. You sound like you really want to become a like film director like in future. Like, do you have any like alternative ideas if that doesn't go well by any chance?
To be honest, my mindset is I'm gonna keep trying to be a director till I die. You know, like
Yeah.
Fair
I'm not
enough.
gonna give up because that's literally the only thing I want.
Yeah. That's a good way to do it, eh? Because like a lot of directors kind of like actually they make like their magnum opus film when they're like 37 or something.
Yeah,
And they've tried for a while. Yeah.
and also like you got to remember, the film industry is not fun and games. Like it sucks half the time. You know, you got crappy people without artistic integrity. You can work so hard on a film and it will just not get noticed. And
Mm.
like it's I'm not talking badly of it. I don't mind that. It's just I think you need to be passionate about it if you want to get into it.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
if you're just like casually like, oh, I might do film. I don't think. Don't get me wrong. There's always what's it called? Uh,
Cinematography.
outliers. That's the word. Like people who
Outliers.
don't fit into
Outliers,
that.
righto.
It's like sometimes there'll be someone who's just like kind of interested in film, but they're not sure, and they'll make it big. But like most of the time, I think it takes a lot of passion.
Yeah.
Like it's just dedication and passion, really.
Yeah.
And like honestly, it's just yeah, I don't want to do anything else. I can't. And I've set all these things for myself. Like one thing I've noticed is people who want to make films who end up like doing YouTube for like the meantime before they make it big,
Yeah.
they usually get stuck in the whole YouTube loop, you know, because eventually that becomes their way of making money. And at first
Yeah.
seems great. You're like, oh, I get to make videos for this thing, and it will be a matter of time until I blow up. But then the problem is,
Sorry, say that again.
Yeah, you just dropped out.
The problem is, right? So John Mulmun just died. Lost him. That's such a shame.
and it's
Um,
just like really like
I went to-
constricting.
Joe, you
John,
you just
sorry,
cut out there, bro.
yeah.
For how long?
Like
Can
20
you please repeat
seconds.
that for people listening to the version of the podcast?
What's the last thing you heard?
I heard like wait, wasn't it like the problem is or something?
Um,
Yeah, improv right now.
so it's like quicksand, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And because if you go into if you if you try and use YouTube as your source of income for a while until you take off as a director, you're going to be stuck in YouTube for a while.
Yeah,
Because not like it, YouTube. If you have YouTube as your job, it's another thing you have to be really passionate about, right? And
Yeah.
it's hard, man. Like you have to focus on views, you have to focus on all this stuff, try and stay on top of the algorithm. That's a lot of hard work, and that constricts you from being able to focus on your films.
yeah.
While Quentin Tarantino, my man, Footman himself,
There he is. Yeah, I knew we were gonna talk about him.
um, like his, I, I think he started as he worked in like a video store, like Blockbuster type beat,
Yeah,
and he was just making films on the side. And I think that works a lot better because it's just like a crappy job. And sure, he wouldn't be earning that much money, but oh my
yeah.
gosh.
So it's kind of like a safety net while you like actually do what you're interested in. You know what I mean? So like you can just kind of stay financially afloat in that time.
Well, yeah, obviously you need to make
True.
money somehow. You need to be able to earn your food for the week, And however you get that, I just think personally, I don't want to use YouTube as my source of food when I'm trying to be a director because that's
True,
going to
yeah.
distract from directing a lot.
Yeah. How did he get your start on YouTube?
I hate you so much.
I have a question. Do you
Yeah.
reckon you'll make any like full length films, like an hour and a half or an hour or something like that? Or like a documentary type?
Oh, like feature films.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's hopefully my goal. And
Yeah.
even if I'm not in the industry, I will make an indie feature-length film. And don't get me wrong, it'll probably be horrible. I'm not. I'm confident in my skill, but I'm also I'm realistic. I'm a realist.
Yeah.
No, but I just know that some things don't turn out, and indie films are really hard to make work. And as long as you learn from it, and you have fun doing it, and you're proud of what you did, then sure, you're great. You're golden, man.
Mm.
Because that film I was
Facts.
talking about earlier, the one that I hate watching and I can't stand it. I'm still proud of what I did. I find it really weird how much I hate the film, but I'm so proud of what I accomplished because I was by myself, and in a few hours, I had to quickly drag some couches out in the middle of my backyard. And I know it sounds really weird. I thought the shot was really cool,
Yeah,
and
sounds cool.
I had to fight the rain. I pretty much wrote the script, the actual dialogue that day, even though I had planned it for weeks, which sounds really dumb. But I know I worked so hard that day, and editing, I spent so hard, I spent a few hours trying to fix the footage the best I could, but and it didn't turn out, but that's okay, and I'm still super proud of what I did.
Yeah, because like at least it's a start, right? Like that's the main thing.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I wish I could just drop out of school and just spend a year making just trying to make a feature film,
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
But school's very consuming.
In terms, what do you mean by consuming? In terms of time, or just kind of like it's
yeah,
different with creativity with its syllabus and everything?
well, first of all, yeah, it takes up all your time, but even when you're not doing it, you're so tired. And there's so much more I have to maintain. Remember, you got to maintain stability, so that's a job, getting food and stuff. Well, I live at home, so I live at home. So I live with my parents, so I've already got that covered, so that's fine. But I still
Yeah.
have to do jobs around the house, which doesn't take up that much time. But I still have to smoke.
What? What's that?
I still have to focus on school. That's the word.
Yeah, got
Um,
you.
I
You
still
said
have to-
you said before that because that film that you were kind of like proud about, but you're too embarrassed to watching. That was like a 3-minute film, right? Like a short one.
I think it was 5 minutes.
Yeah. Do you think that you'd sort of be interested in or try to challenge yourself and make an hour-long film or something in the next few years while you're still in high school?
That's what I'm really trying to do. But back to the whole thing, the balance. You got to balance that stability. So for me, that's just school. That's my parents just want me to focus on school. So
Yeah.
they feed me, so I have to do school. That's my stability, right? Then, don't get me wrong, my parents will still feed me if I don't do school. Don't misinterpret that, but like, just like I have to do school. That's like a something I have to do. My parents want me to do it. I'm not gonna dog my parents.
What do you mean do school? As in like just like sort of stay on top of your subjects and actually get like decent marks, stuff like that.
Just graduate, you know. Don't fail all my classes.
Yeah.
Just, you know, I don't even have to get like any points. I don't have to
Yeah.
go to uni.
I think it's pretty hard actually like not to graduate. You know what I mean? Like I think you have to actually like put in like a decent amount of effort to not graduate.
Yeah, probably. Anyways, then next there's social. So you got to maintain friends and relationships, you know. So
Yeah.
I've got 2 friend groups. So
If I
that
had
takes up.
2 friends, oh no man. What were you gonna say?
So I've got to like, you know, I've got to set time for them. You know, you can't just spend all your time alone, otherwise you're gonna go crazy, which
Yeah.
might help my directing. But oh my gosh, no thanks. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to maintain my friends. So that's another thing. So there's school and friends, and then sure there's assignments which goes into school, but that takes up extra time outside of school. Then there's film, obviously, which I'm trying to make time for. But then there's also mental health. You need to account time for that. Whether that's like you sit down for an hour a day, have a cup of tea next to like really nice lighting. I don't care. You know,
Ah,
as
so
long
you
as
just realize sort of like mindfulness stuff and
you have to maintain your mental health, man. Like even if you're not happy, even if you're like schizophrenic, even if you're anything,
yeah.
it's not gonna it's not gonna heal you. It's not gonna magically fix your problems, but you still have to try and like maintain that time for yourself.
Exactly, yeah.
And so like for me, that's skating, you know. And it sounds really dumb, but I go out with my friends and I skate. It makes me feel good. It's my exercise, you know. So I'm balancing school, relationships, film, and skating. Right?
Yeah.
And obviously I need cool downs. I can't be out every weekend.
Yeah,
So
true.
then like I've got these 4 things I'm trying to balance, you know. And school just tires you out because it's 5 days a week, and weekends don't feel long enough. They go by in like a second.
Yeah. Do you think that
And
those like sort of groups of like social and like everything you said, like mindfulness, do you think that's gonna get like majorly affected when school ends?
I just think I'll have more time, and like I'm a very adaptable person. Like I can just like I can like when my dad moved out, that was like not even like it took me like a day, and I was like, all right, you know,
Mm.
and I just got into the flow of things. And I think once school ends, or if I ever did leave school, I think what I'd do is I'd figure out my new balance. Like how much time am I gonna do? How much time am I gonna leave for friends? How much time am I gonna leave for film? How much time am I gonna leave for skating? You know.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm going to need to get a job, and that job's going to take up like the school slot, but it'll give me a little extra time, you know.
True.
Yeah. Do you think you'd actually like, because you said before, like, it kind of sounded like you had like a bit of a negative view on like YouTubing because it kind of like sucks you in a way.
Oh, I don't.
And
I
then
think YouTubing's great, but
yeah,
it's like the film industry. It's like what I was saying before. You need to be passionate to be a director. I think you'd have to be passionate to be a YouTuber, or you'd have to at least be willing to put in the effort.
true. Yeah.
True.
So do you like could you see yourself like in the future, say like 20 years, being like a star YouTuber as opposed to a film director, but you kind of make similar sort of things, and would you still be happy with that?
I think I could see myself doing that, but I don't think I'd be happy. I think the whole time I'd just be thinking, like, what if, you know, like, what if I did this instead? What if I, like, where did I, like, in my mind? Because I'm not saying YouTube's, like, a bad thing. I encourage people to do YouTube. It's an amazing thing. But, like,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of hard to explain, but, you know,
Yeah.
everyone has their own personal personal likes and dislikes, and personally I've got 2 big ones. And being a YouTuber making films, nah, that feels like I've failed, and it feels like a what's the word, like it's like feels like it's a like I you know when you negotiate something with someone and they want $5 and you
Yeah.
want $7, but you negotiate it to $6, like what's that called?
Oh.
I think it's just I think it's just negotiating. Like I
No,
think
no,
it's
settle.
no. There'd be a
Settle.
yeah.
settle.
Yeah, so I don't want to settle for like, oh, I didn't make it as a director. I guess YouTube will make up for it. Like,
I get what
or
you mean. So
That
you
makes
I
don't
don't want to be a
sense,
like,
yeah.
film teacher either, because don't get me wrong, I've got so much respect for film teachers.
Yeah.
Those guys
Yeah.
are like so smart. They know what they're doing, and they're like shaping the directors of the future. But that's also another thing that I feel like, to me personally, is settling. Even though I have a lot of respect for them, like it's
Yeah.
risky.
Yeah. So it's kind
So
of like scrapping your dream and just sort of like taking whatever pieces are left and trying to make it into something.
yeah, and it's not speaking ill, but like this is
Yeah.
gonna feel wildly like a stretch. But like to me, in my mind, it's like someone whose passion is to be a teacher and they become a mechanic, you know?
Yeah.
And and even though film and being a film teacher, it's the same topics, it's not my dream, you know? My dream is to create the films, not create the students, you know?
Fair
Yeah.
enough, dude.
Any other questions about film?
Nah, man. Yeah. I don't know.
I can keep ranting if you want. I've got plenty of things to rant about. Don't get me
Nah.
wrong, I'm not an angry person, but my goodness, I'm good at ranting.
Got a lot of things you want to critique. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't even like being too critical. Like, it's weird. Like, when I see a good film and I have to critique the bad things, I feel so guilty because I know the amount of effort that's gone into that, the amount of like years of practice that's gone into that, and I know it's just a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why artistic integrity is so important to me. If you care and you put in the effort, if your film's bad, oh my gosh, I'm gonna congratulate you on what you did well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
have like no artistic integrity, you're just like, oh, whatever, I'm gonna absolutely like destroy you for what you did wrong. I'm gonna be like, oh, wow,
Yeah.
cool shot, idiot, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So let's
I
say
know.
I mean I think it's a good time to wrap up the podcast about now. So like, do you have like a final sort of I don't know,
Final
I guess a
message.
final message to all the film directors out there?
Um,
You want to be film directors?
if you're passionate, just go for it, and if you're not, okay, when?
That's such a good message. I want that as a t-shirt. Yeah, that's awesome. All right.
I just died in my hardcore world.
No.
Well, that's a good spot to end it.
Perfect
So
time to
guys,
end.
that's a perfect time, dude. All right, so that's been John Mulmun,
Thank you for joining us.
and yeah, it's, Meek. Do you want to do an outro, which is like the other way around?
Or sure.
something? Alright,
Ga-
Mika and
Gavin.
Gavin.
Mika.
All right, guys.
Gavin.
So
Thank you.
yeah, it's been really good.
Bye.
Thanks for that, John. Yeah, bye.
Alright.